I do miss her sometimes. I have company here, but it's never the same. If you see her by some chance, could you say hi for me? I hope she hasn't forgotten about me already.
Sins of the Past is a digital horror series by Spooked Forky that delves into the realms of dreams and memories following an unfortunate friend group. In this video, we'll be exploring all 7 uploads currently on the channel. So, I hope you're ready because we're jumping straight into it.
Oh, we're out of time already. Hold on. You'll be back, right?
The first video begins by displaying the date February 20th, 1977, along with the short message. Large portions of the following footage has been tampered with or deleted entirely. Because of this, key context is missing, needed to fully understand what is being shown. This message is directed to those who come across the footage, and I find it to be necessary because at times, what we will be exposed to can feel a bit random and unclear. Once this message is displayed, the footage begins.
So I pick one body part and I find out anything I want to know about it. I just want to find out about my daughter's dreams, and if it's not you controlling them, then who the hell is it?
You should know her very well. Why don't we take a walk together? Just you and I. Down Charlotte's Hall of Dreams.
We are drawn in with a conversation between 2 individuals. A man is speaking with someone as he says, "One body part and I find out anything I want to know about it." From this, we learn that something is wrong with his daughter, and it's gotten to a point where he is willing to trust this unknown person to ultimately understand what is going on when she dreams. We don't know how this person would have access to this information or how they would benefit from doing this, but it appears that they told him if he had anything he wished to know about his daughter, just choose a body part, to which he selects her brain. The dad questions out loud, "If you are not the one controlling her dreams, then who the hell is it?" And they respond, "You know her very well. Why don't we walk together, just you and I, down Charlotte's Hall of Dreams?" Here we learn his daughter's name is Charlotte, but I'm left a bit puzzled by the first part of their reply, "You should know her very well." Now, if we assume they are talking about Charlotte here, it makes sense, but if they aren't referring to her, it could be hinting that the one controlling her is female, and one that he is familiar with. This conversation is interjected with a brief loading screen of a girl's face, and then we receive this audio.
Please don't kill me. I'll help whatever you want. I'll do the job. I'll do it for free. I won't die.
The clip shows a girl covered in blood, desperately crying for help, begging that whoever is with her would spare her life. Because we lack any context whatsoever, we'll just have to make note of this. Aside from this being unsettling, I find it a bit out of the blue, which we will soon come to learn that moments like these are normal when exploring Charlotte's life along with her loved ones. Now, before we continue, I want to clarify that the following events can be confusing, but I developed a theory that makes the most sense to me. Initially, I believed the dad was the one experiencing the dreams, but there are moments where this is clearly not true. Instead, he's more of an observer, powerless to what's around him. For the most part, what he is exposed to is Charlotte's point of view from within her dreams, which bleeds heavily into her real life experiences, blurring the lines between the two. This may seem minor, but I found it important to share now as a way to reduce confusion. And as the audio clip ends, we are exposed to one of these dreams. The clip takes us to what looks like a children's play place. It's a game that Charlotte is placed into and someone else is communicating with her. At the start, she appears lost, so they assist her via text. Using her flashlight, she searches in the darkness behind her. The light locks onto something, followed by this message: signal identified, transporting. During this, you can hear the sounds of birds chirping in the background. Suddenly, she is teleported and there is a short intermission where we see a black and white drawing of the girl from the previous load screen. We are brought back to the open space, except now it resembles more of an arcade, and we learn the name of the girl that has continually shown up: Tia. Once Charlotte notices this, her demeanor changes drastically. There are a few words I can make out, but it's difficult to know for certain what was said. However, it doesn't matter, as we can infer from how she responds to it. They're questioning her willpower. She appears guilty and responsible for something that had happened in the past. Ultimately, she decides to continue. Moving forward, she finds her township card or ID, which triggers a portal to open up. Wisely, she decides to first place her ID card through it. Once doing so, the screen turns to static and she is given the message, "Your father will wake up soon, so I'll leave you with one last gift." The voice we hear in this clip is Tia. By the way Charlotte had reacted to seeing her face, and from what Tia is saying, it appears she is no longer alive. Tia feels alone and is looking forward to the day when they can meet again so she can stay by her side. Once the clip ends, she receives a rose. The one speaking with her from before returns and says, "Congratulations, you got the rose. How do you feel after learning about Tia? I'm sorry. Your dad is coming soon. Until next time." For a brief moment, we break away from the dreams and return to the two individuals from the beginning. We learn the dad's name is Bill and the person he was speaking with is named King. However, for a reason unbeknownst to us, this new person claims he is gone. They state who they are, but as you can see, we still don't know their true identity. Then we are placed in front of an old PC monitor and forced to watch a cryptic message that transitions to another audio clip from Tia.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Oh, Mr. Lewis. Nap. Well, it's just, Charlotte and I had an argument. She kept trying to get on me about how I got hurt and how she could help, and everything she usually says. She doesn't even sugarcoat that she thinks I'm weak and that I can't take care of myself. I mean, she's literally beat people up for me. All for a prick like me. Everything you all think I worked for, every little play I've acted for, it wasn't even my work, it was all Charlotte. Yeah, I did the acting, and yeah, I went up there on stage, but she's the one that set me up with everything. She helped me memorize my lines. She helped me move around on stage when I couldn't. Do you know how horrible I feel when I trip on stage without her? How horrible it is to know that I can't do anything without her help? Sorry. You didn't need to hear all that.
The happy birthday song is played out loud along with various images. Tia, the rose, a teddy bear, a watch, a girl with long hair and a blue hat, a party hat, a township card, an eye, a noose, a blue eye, someone being transported into the portal, and two indistinguishable visuals. Without a chance to digest anything, an audio from Tia begins. She is covered in blood and has a red wing attached to her. The audio consists of Tia speaking on how she feels about Charlotte doing everything for her. She appears frustrated with the fact that she is always needing her help. After this, Charlotte is then forced to make a decision on if she wants to continue to dream. Before she makes her decision, she is informed, "You can't bring us back, so why do you go on? You've suffered enough." But even after receiving this, her mind is set on continuing to dream, marking the end of the first upload. But we are shown an additional visual at the very end. In this upload, we follow Agent Myuu, who logs onto their PC and opens up a folder called Cold Cases, of which there are 3 folders. They open a folder on Township with a notepad titled Final Takeaway, which reads, "Township had little to nothing to do with the disappearances in Windsor. It is unlikely that there is a large conspiracy at play when it comes to this company. Please direct all efforts towards frequent visitors of their location. Thank you for understanding." After reading this, Myuu decides to look through the Township website. This text is near impossible to read without the help of some editing, but once doing so, the text reads, "Welcome to the official Township website. If you don't already know what Township is, please continue reading, then direct yourself to the About category at the top. It will redirect you to a short biography of Township. Thank you for your time." So what exactly is this website? That is probably what you're asking yourself right now. This website is our attempt of submersing ourselves into the ever-changing world of technology entertainment. After several blows to our company because of baseless rumors and concerns, we've been forced to stop our tasks into entertainment. Thank you for continuing to support us through these trying times. Please take a while to look around. Be sure to check out our fun little list on the left. The disappearances have really dealt a blow to the Township company. After reading this, Myuu decides to look around for a bit.
You and me, oh how happy we'll be. We will duck or swim, and we'll float and fool around the water. It's rich, for well, what do we care? By the beautiful sea.
Ultimately, when landing on the contact page, she begins a live chat, and to her surprise, someone is waiting on the other side. Millie is an agent investigating a case of missing people that could be tied to the company Township. She miraculously gets into a live chat with an employee and learns that the company is in complete shambles and on the verge of shutting down for good. When Millie states that she is with the police, the employee neither confirms nor denies whether the company played a role in the disappearances in Windsor. She questions them on this, but receives no reply. So she continues researching. Millie clicks on a link titled Player of the Week, landing her on this page that reads, "One random player is chosen every week from our long list of archives, collected from location to location, based on their skill and points received in games." So the site is essentially a place to play flash games, I would assume. After looking around, she clicks on Make a Request, which brings her to a page on Umbras. Umbras, as far as we can tell, are an explanation for a majority of paranormal sightings reported throughout history. Whether it be demons, spirits, ghosts, as far as we can tell, they explain most of them, even the more far-fetched concepts. An Umbra, as far as we can discern, is simply an entity that is obsessed with the idea of evolution and perfection, whether consciously or unconsciously. In every case we have so far, this obsession with perfection has been physical. Umbras tend to stick to one object, or sometimes even concepts after their human death. What's most common from what we have gathered is an object valuable to them close to their place of death, a family relic, a gift given to them from someone dear, things like that. When upgrading, they tend to use objects around whatever they possessed to their best ability. If they died around wood, the forms or stages that they take may look very wood or tree-like. If they died around snow, snow-like, so on and so forth, attempting to construct a perfect form, more humanoid. But could there possibly be other forms of upgrading? The text discusses umbras, which is Latin for shadows. It elaborates on how these shadows can potentially explain anything paranormal. Upon the death of their host, umbras remain attached to objects closest to the deceased, with the ultimate goal of evolving into a perfect form, possibly one that can move independently. While this theory hasn't been confirmed, the audio file referencing death, the gift, and the description in the text may suggest that the evolution of an umbra may be significant in the following events. As she reads, Millie receives a new message from the employee, which brings up the live chat once more. Using Charlotte's email and password provided by the employee, Millie is brought to a page that gives us crucial information pertaining to Charlotte and those around her. The page reads, "You have been granted access to a list of special persons on account of yourself being one of them. Do not take this for granted. Think of it as an exchange of information. The information we have is limited. We have gathered what we can from various sources, such as your dreams and people that have known these people. If you have anything to add, please message us through the site messaging app. For some obscure reason, Charlotte is involved with a dream machine that pulls information from her dreams and various other sources. To add to the surprise, under the body of text, we are exposed to this. A list of people attributed to Charlotte, including her sister Tia and her lover, Ruthie. But even with all of this new intel, we're just moments away from the most vital part, which is delivered to us via the live chat. Charlotte, the girl whose dreams we have been observing, is dead. In interference, her sister Tia was speaking to her from the dead, but it was made clear that Charlotte was still alive. This means this recording takes place sometime after February 20th, 1977. As for the list, we learn of a new person close to Charlotte, and by clicking the name of each individual, Millie is given a summary on how they were perceived, as well as personal information. Tall, loud, annoying. Charlotte appears to be extremely short-tempered, with little patience for anyone, including her own friends. She could be comfortably placed within the bully stereotype you often see in cheesy movies, except it was rare for her to be stopped by some courageous hero, main protagonist. She was often seen in the arcade nearest to her, or caring for her little sister, Tia. Despite her rude demeanor and ways of going about things, Charlotte found little comfort in doing anything that wasn't helping her friends and family achieve what she believed to be their purpose. Perhaps it was because of her lack of one. To sum it up, Charlotte is labeled as a bully and someone who lacked purpose, which led her to help those around her achieve the goals that she saw for them. Let's continue. Tia Settle was a rather on the whim person. Very little stayed consistent about her during her life other than her dream of one day becoming an actress. Something that Charlotte Settle undoubtedly played a huge role in building up before Tia's unfortunate passing. Based on Charlotte's dreams, it appeared that her killer lured her in with promises of working toward her acting dreams without the help of Charlotte. It's likely that Tia was very insecure in her own ability to do things, doubled by her visual impairment. It was known she was bullied or generally disregarded in her class. The more we learn about Tia's life, the sadder it becomes. Tia was bullied, visually impaired, and her only dream of becoming an actress was co-constructed with the help of her older sister, which we know she has displayed frustration about. And worst of all, we learn that her cause of death was in no way natural. She was murdered. This fact possibly means she was the one in the first audio file. Last on the list is Ruthie. Ruthie appears to have the more traumatic past of the whole friend group. It's unknown what happened to her. We know that her brother King killed their two parents before finally succumbing to a shot in the head administered by Ruthie. Her family had quite the inheritance to leave behind, and yet Ruthie has touched almost none of it. It appears she likes to spend any money that she did touch on odd clothing combinations. Quiet, patient, and quite easy to push around. Ruthie is nothing like her partner. There is a lot here that complicates things. For starters, Ruthie's brother is named King, the same King that was speaking with Bill in the first upload. An unknown person later claimed King is gone, and just now we learned that he killed both his parents and was ultimately killed by his sister Ruthie. My mind is filled with questions, though I don't find exploring them to be beneficial at this time due to the lack of context, so we'll move on. After reading through the profiles, Millie enters Tia's page once more to look at the images, but is met with something unexpected.
Bob probably saw whatever that was too.
Millie watches a cryptic message directed to Charlotte. After this, in her cold cases folder, she opens Windsor disappearances and deletes a folder labeled Township. She creates a new document and ultimately moves the Windsor folder into the unopened cold cases before logging off. Her actions then trigger the events that follow. At the end, we are left with the message that resonates with Charlotte and Tia's relationship. Will a scared rabbit clinging to a wolf ever have a good conclusion? The snowbird that landed its wings so gracefully on the wolf is gone. The bear that offered its love for this wolf was ultimately led to the same fate as the poor snowbird. And yet, the young rabbit still clings, finding itself belonging nowhere else. Until even the wolf, the ruiner of all, finds itself a new home for the young rabbit. And eventually, the wolf lets its unbreakable guard down, allowing itself to find solace in the rabbit as well. Towards the end of the conversation with the employee, Millie asks if Township made games about local community members, to which they respond, "Oh yeah, that was a pretty common thing." I have to say, this whole concept is odd. The idea that a site would make games based off active users. However, these games could potentially provide more information related to the story. This interaction serves as a segue to the third video of the series, which appears to be one of these games made by Township, or at least is presented as one. video starts with Charlotte waking up Tia, who then goes to a rehearsal for a play where she is mocked for her appearance. Distressed, Tia expresses her desire to leave and returns home. Then, there is a jump in the footage where we see her being forcibly dragged away to the woods by a blonde-haired individual. After she doesn't come home at night, Charlotte grows worried and decides to make a call.
Yes,
Hey, Ruthie.
Charlotte? Why'd you call? It's so early.
Yeah, so, did Tia stop by your place last night? We got into a bit of an argument, and she just stormed off. I'm really worried here, Ruthie. I mean, with her inability to see and all.
Tia? No, she hasn't come here. I haven't seen her in a while. Did you try calling Jay?
No. She wouldn't be with him. She doesn't exactly like him all that much. She just tolerates him at best. I just can't think of anybody else to call. She doesn't really have any friends outside of us, you know?
That's true. Maybe she just made a friend? Maybe she's just having a sleepover?
With the argument we had? Hell no.
Did you tell your parents?
Yeah, they were out having a date night. Dad was acting really out of it recently, and Mom wanted to do something nice for him. But now they're out looking for her.
I'm sure she'll turn up eventually today. Try and relax.
Before the call, we see a date, although I suspect it's a typo, as I have reasons to believe the year is 1975. Charlotte calls Ruthie and updates her on the situation with Tia, and it's not looking good. Towards the end of the call, we are shown an oddly placed visual that includes 3 names: Nina, Tia, and Harmony. Then we jump to February 6th, 1976. Harmony's connection to Charlotte puzzles me, so for now, I'll refrain from making one. It's a few months after the incident with Tia. We are inside the same home and make our way to Harmony's room, where she was found hanging, with a teddy bear sitting on the floor beneath her. Then we receive this message. Even though there are words that are missing, it's evident that whoever wrote this message is putting the blame on Charlotte for the death of her sister Tia and Nina, whose name we don't know but was shown before.
This is Joseph.
You didn't think I would let it be that boring, did you? Let the questioning begin.
Cut the shit. you don't give a fuck about how I feel. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. And I don't have to tell you jack shit. Should a cop really be talking like this? And you don't know what you're talking about. I didn't kill anyone, so bite me. The only thing I will tell you is a little bit about what we argued about. Tia had a rough day of school that day. Some kids got a few hits on her. She didn't tell me who. Said something about me always doing shit for her, not letting her be independent. After that, she stormed off and I didn't see her again.
Maybe Bloody played this game before. I should have asked Lottie or her friends for help after all. I truly cannot do this anymore. Why can't somebody else deal with all of this? What does it have to show me?
The video cuts to a suspect named Joseph being interrogated for involvement in some way with the death of Tia and Nina. However, this segment is thrown away. Instead, we are introduced to Nina, an angel that shows us Charlotte in an interrogation room. The events that unfold from the perspective of Harmony reveal a chilling experience. As she inputs her name into one of the games, it oddly changes to Lewis. In the game, Harmony finds Tia and asks her where Charlotte is, only to learn that they had gotten into an argument. When Harmony suggests talking in the back rooms, Tia strangely mentions Nina's death. The game then jumps ahead to a disturbing section where Harmony ultimately kills Tia. The game ends and we hear her reaction. The video concludes with being gifted Harmony's teddy bear. Given the striking similarities between the games, dreams, and reality in this series, it becomes apparent that this game is on how Lewis kills Tia, a fact confirmed by the opening of the next upload, which begins with a clip of Lewis dragging around a dying Tia. But before we get there, once again we are shown an odd array of visuals at the end of this upload.
Louis, can't you stop pulling me now? I don't want to go wherever we're going. I haven't felt my legs in a while now. It is cold after all. Can't we stop by my house to get some sweatpants and a coat? Why do you keep whispering to yourself, Louis? Can't you hear me? I don't want to go. Please drop me already. I need to go say bye to Charlotte and...
You promised me that we'd live forever. Together. Now, if you really wanted to do that, just give up on that stupid thought of yours.
Tia is left to die in the woods. During Millie's investigation, when reading about her, we learn that based on Charlotte's dreams, Tia's killer lured her with the promise of working toward her acting dreams without needing the help of her sister. And as sad as it is, it's true. Especially when realizing the man she was venting to in this recording is Louis.
Mr. Louis. Nap. Well, it's just... Charlotte and I had an argument.
With Harmony's perspective, we finally get a full picture on the events that occurred that day. Tia woke up and went to rehearsal, where she was made fun of, so she decided to return home. At home, she had an argument with her sister and left for the arcade. Here she meets Louis and tells him she had a fight with Charlotte, and he convinces her that he can help her. This is where everything spirals, and she is led to her own death. After the opening clip, we are brought to September 14th, 1975, which makes it the earliest piece of information that has been displayed in the storyline.
This party is so lame.
It's not that bad, just a bit too loud.
Food's good though, and plus, we haven't had the whole community together in a long time.
Do you guys want to play Truth or Dare?
I hate Truth or Dare. You guys always make me do annoying things.
Shut it, Rufy. What about you, Nina? You want to play? You're the birthday girl after all.
Yeah, okay.
I'll start. I dare you to pick up Ruthie and bring her around the whole arcade.
On it. All done. Now then. Anyone else got some cooler dares for me?
Yeah, you like Ruthie? In the special way?
What kind of question is that? Did your parents drop you as a baby or something? Obviously I don't like her like that. Fine then. I dare you to lock yourself in that back room way back there for 30 minutes. In the dark, with no lights. Let's wipe that smug smile off your face now.
From the clip, we learn that these three are Ruthie, Charlotte, and Nina, all of whom have been mentioned before. And this is Jay, who was briefly mentioned during the phone call. They're at Nina's birthday party and the crew decides to play Truth or Dare. Nina takes the opportunity to tease Charlotte by asking her if she likes Ruthie. Embarrassed, she says no, then dares Nina to lock herself in the back room for 30 minutes in complete darkness. She agrees, but unfortunately, things take a turn for the worst. As we jump ahead further in the night, the visuals show Nina falling to her death. Someone approaches and states that they will not show what happened that led up to the tragedy, but they are willing to show us other interactions, though she claims they won't make sense, concluding with blame Charlotte for that one. It's now December 26th, 1976, and just to give an idea where we are in the timeline, this is after the deaths of Harmony, Tia, and Nina.
Who are you?
Jesus, creepy little asshole.
To call me that sounds like a reflection of your own character.
Whoa! Holy fuck! Can you hear me? Where's the microphone on this thing?
Here? Yes. I hear all that goes on within this arcade. Children screaming, adults drinking. But enough of that. Enough about me. What is your name?
This is so fucking cool! Holy shit! My name's Charlotte, big man. What's your name?
Charlotte? It is a lovely name. My name, it was King, I suppose. My parents named me that as the one who would conquer my weaknesses, and theirs, as they put it.
King. You've got a cool name, too. So, you've got coded parents or something?
Code? Not quite. I struggle to find a place to begin explaining quite what I am. You have asked many questions, and I believe it is my turn. Do you perhaps know of Ruthie? She may hide her last name and dodge from questions.
Oh yeah, Rufy. She's like my best friend ever. Why? You know her? Jeez Louise. Really accounted for everything.
Ruthie with a friend. That is wonderful. You've brought me good news, and that should keep me out for the time I'm stuck in here.
Who's got you stuck down here, big man? Is there a quest line I gotta fulfill?
Ruthie hasn't told you a thing, has she? About what happened to her family? Or anything else? Explaining it would be, well, tiresome. Rather, I will walk you through what happened that day.
We witness Charlotte engaging in a crucial dialogue with King, viewing the world through her eyes. This interaction occurs just a year before the first, with King confined inside a cage against his own will, as indicated by his use of the word stuck. Charlotte is unaware with who she is conversing with, and when King learns her closeness to Ruthie, he decides to recount one of the worst days of his sister's life.
There was nothing she could have done. And after silently sobbing for seconds to come, her savior arrived. Her dear older brother. She cried for his help, rushing to the room before realizing something was terribly wrong. Her brother was holding a knife, blood dripping from the end. It seemed he was waiting on the young girl to appear, so he could finish her off as well. Ruthie is an ignorant fool. You should know this by now. She still had hope for her brother, hopelessly committed to his goodwill. She cried out,
King tells Charlotte the day Ruthie discovered their dead parents and was subsequently compelled to kill him. This confirms that King, at this moment, is deceased, as he even states in this conversation that his name was King. However, he persists in some form after death. This idea brings me back to the concept of Umbras and their potential evolution, which may help explain how such a phenomenon is possible. We then skip ahead a couple weeks where we find Charlotte, Ruthie, and Jay. During this meetup, they discuss a new game that they can play together. But before they commence, with the new information that Charlotte has acquired from her conversation with King, she takes the opportunity to ask Ruthie how she's doing. It's after this that a masked figure emerges, instantly knocking them out with the audio of Happy Birthday, and kidnaps all three of them. They are placed in the back of a car where they each experience a short dream. As they awaken, they are dragged into a dark room, and what follows is nothing short of tragic.
If you move towards me or the girl, I'll kill it. That is your only warning. Oh my, are we about your friend? Hey, Charlotte. You alive or what? Oh, she's fine. You don't have to worry about her. Now then, to be blunt with you, you're gonna kill Ruthie. I came up with this game while I was having my afternoon rest. Don't you find it fun? Taking so long. Oh, that's right. You need motivation, of course. Alright, if you don't, I'll kill all three of you. But if you do, your prize will be your life as well as dear Silence. Quick line, Christ! Feels like nobody here likes to have fun anymore. I'm giving you another chance. I'll sweeten the deal, so if you kill her, I'll let you guys go, and I'll give you little hints as to who I am. That way you can relish in the sweet revenge, no?
As Jay kills Ruthie, we are presented with a clip in the background showing a third-person perspective of Lewis dragging Tia through the forest. This suggests a connection between the masked person and Lewis, which is a theory I support, especially given their similar attire. However, it remains uncertain whether he is even human anymore, as the laughter accompanying the scene seems to consist of multiple voices. Miraculously, Charlotte awakens after the unfolding events, finding herself in the midst of the woods with Jay laying in the snow nearby. A voice communicates with her, revealing that Jay killed Ruthie and urges her to do the same to him. However, she can't bring herself to commit the act. Opting to leave, she ventures through the woods despite the harsh weather conditions, hoping to avoid perishing in such a place. As her vision begins to blur, she hears ringing in her ears and vomits blood. Now, this whole situation is messed up, but it's about to get a whole lot worse. It all begins with her eating a rat.
You killed her. You killed her. You killed her.
You know the situation is bad when the most normal thing to occur this upload is the eating of the rat. Charlotte is subsequently blamed for Ruthie's death and viciously attacked by King through the screen. However, the damage seems confined to her eye as indicated by the visual. The scene then fades away and we hear an ambulance approach in the background. In this short clip, we get a glimpse of the aftermath from beginnings. The visuals appear dreamlike, as we are placed inside a room made of flesh with the background view of a landscape representing the passing of time. In the middle of the frame, we find an infirmary bed along with an IV bag. Words rapidly flash on the monitor, however they are illegible, and a pair of eyes observe at the top of the frame. Memories or Dreams is a short clip from one of Charlotte's dreams. The text displays memories of hers or thought bubbles from her mind as we travel to different settings. As of now, we learn that the day Ruthie was killed, Charlotte was attacked and brought to the hospital, or at least treated in the back of an ambulance. However, we don't know for certain. Regardless, in the following upload, we decipher from the words directed to Charlotte that, in a way, Charlotte had accepted this as her death, but this person delivering this message overrid her decision and will not allow her to be free of everything just yet. They leave her with one final message: you will know the truth. This brings us to the latest upload of the series, a video that dives into Charlotte's mind, where we observe her point of view after all the recent events.
Someone is leading me in my dreams. Every time I think I'm going to wake up, that damn music plays, and I am in another awful nightmare. Some dreams are better than others. Some are memories I kill to relive, and some are torture rooms where I sit there waiting to die. Every now and then I'll have a useful one. Something that's not complete nonsense. Something that I can get a message out of. I see certain figures in the dreams. Certain people that can only live in these hellscapes now. My mother. The more I write, the more I remember, but this is going to go away once I wake up too. Right? I can't remember who did this to me. I can't remember his name, but he looks so familiar. I'm sure I'll remember when I wake up. For now, I'll write down everything I can remember from previous dreams. A grave in the snow, the two people behind the arcade. Promises of rebirth within that grave. My mother's warnings, and various voices telling me the opposite. It's all the specifics I remember. Every dream had one thing in common at least. At the end of every dream, she was there. Always her. It's always her. She's always standing with that irritating smile. It pierces through my head and forces me to remember. It hurts so bad. Even when I can't see her, I know she's smiling. I know it's her there. It's always you, Nina.
Charlotte is trapped in a relentless cycle of interconnected dreams, all tied together by the melody of the happy birthday song. This revelation sheds a light on why she, along with others, are drawn into these dreams when they hear this song. Within these dreams, Charlotte recounts memories of her mother and contemplates the identity of the individual responsible for her predicament. While she senses a familiar presence, she struggles to recall his name. This visual of her mother may seem normal, and it is, but it's not the first time we've seen her. In fact, we've met her before. This suggests her involvement in the overarching narrative is more profound than initially perceived. Meanwhile, the identity of the masked individual remains shrouded in ambiguity. While the name Lewis is associated with Tia's murderer, the masked individual exhibits inhuman characteristics, casting doubt on her true nature. The transformation and glitching observed by the masked individual further complicates matters, hinting at a possible external manipulation or possession. In her recounting of the details observed within her dreams, Charlotte begins with the image of a grave nestled in the snow, presumably belonging to Tia, followed by two individuals behind the arcade, and promises of rebirth intertwined with the grave, which I believe is connected to the conversation that took place after Tia is dragged away, as well as this message from her. Charlotte also notes her mother's warnings and the voices that contradict them at constant war in her dreams. However, the biggest revelation comes at the conclusion of her narration. Nina's tragic demise during her birthday party continues to haunt Charlotte's dreams. The reoccurring presence of Nina and the ominous influence of the happy birthday song serve as reminders of the unsolved mysteries surrounding that fateful day and its lingering impact on Charlotte. In this digital horror, we follow Charlotte's story, one that dives into themes of guilt, identity, memory, and trauma. This series is still being released, so if you enjoyed it, I recommend going and supporting them. Also, if you like videos like this one, I suggest subscribing to the channel and let me know what you think in the comments. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.